Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hey, you new guys who've recently backed Star Citizen in the last couple of months, over the past year, come a little closer. I've got a question I'd like to ask you. And you OG backers, I have some questions for you towards the end here also. But for you new guys who've backed more recently, I'm curious to know how you feel about what you're seeing in the community here. There's overall negativity. I think it's pretty apparent that most of the community is very upset about the recent changes to Wave 1 access to the PTU. And I'm looking at this post here on Reddit, and it's a guy saying he's unsubscribing and he's been around for 10 years. And I love some of the responses they've had in here. We'll go over them. But I'm more curious to know, for you new guys who've just started back in the game, how you see this. What does this tell you about the community itself, or has this changed your opinion about anything in the game? Reason I ask is a lot of games I've been involved with over the years don't come anywhere close to this level of salt that Star Citizen backers have, and the range in the fluctuation, the bipolarism from extreme hate and despair to this is a magical moment for us all, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this. I pull this up every single time we're in a downswing, and I think it's about time to pull that again. Now, this chart here was not made for Star Citizen. It appears on many different gaming subreddits and gaming forums, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You are here. We're complaining on Reddit. And the complaints will be that CIG is not listening. The complaints will be that CIG is not being professional in the way they're dealing with things. And CIG has made horrible, wrong decisions. Does it all sound familiar to you? And again, this was not made for Star Citizen. This applies to every single other game out there at one point or another. Then we get the upcoming appeasing dev block. Now, we're not going to get an appeasing dev block. What we'll get is an Inside Star Citizen with a new teaser. No doubt there's going to be teasing some new ships coming soon. I think at CitizenCon, if they want to replicate the success of the 2018 release of the Kraken, which they made bank on that one, I think they're going to be releasing some big cap ship at CitizenCon to suck in some money there from everyone who didn't attend. We'll see. I have a lot to say about what I'm expecting at CitizenCon, but let's move on. So there's a big appeasing dev block, or an Inside Star Citizen in our case, and 2 months go by, and there's a big update. There's a Pyro update. We can now travel to Pyro. Everyone is going to be praising CIG. Look at a beautiful thing I've done. We can move between systems, and now that we can move between two systems, the world is going to open up wide open, because now we can have all the systems coming in. And after 2 months of playing in Pyro, there will be boredom. Now I'm going to predict the future. 2 or 3 months after Pyro launches, there'll be boredom, and back to complaining on Reddit. This cycle repeats. So if you've never seen this before, this holds true, and we've been through the cycle in Star Citizen I don't know how many times. It happens multiple times within a year. We just happen to be at the bottom side of it now, and this is where you, a new backer, has managed to come in. Good timing, right? You older backers, you OG guys from 2013, 2014, how many times have we seen this, right? It's not new. It happens all the time. But this time does feel a little different. And the reason it feels different is we are closing in on that 10-year period for a lot of people. Not that there's some invisible barrier 10 years, but just being 2 digits, 8 years, yeah, fine. 9 years, fine. 10 years. 10 years sounds like a big number, and it is. So in this particular case is a Reddit post by James IV4, and his post is nothing new. We've seen it many times in the past, but some of the responses were awesome. And I want to dig down to a couple of those with you guys and read over them. So he says, it's been a good journey. I've been subbed for 10 years. All right, he's been paying for 10 years. I built my first PC in 2013 to play this game and VR. I feel that because I also upgraded my PC, and I got the AMD 2070. The 2070 was a mid-range card, which was, I think, $250. Was it? Check my math on that. And that thing was awesome. That thing allowed me to play the Hangar module. Who remembers the early Hangar modules with that yellow fog, right? I was able to play it with that card for quite some time. And yeah, also VR was fresh, so we were all getting prepped for Star Citizen and VR. Boy, were we early. Now, 10 years later, I would have thought the game would happen. We all did. Look, nobody back in 2013 and 14 expecting to be where we are right now. But then again, the game we backed in 2013 is nowhere even close to what we have now. Procedural planet tech, an entire planet made up of a city. These things weren't even in our wildest imagination back in 2013. So to give CIG some praise, yeah, they've done a lot of things which I would never have imagined in 2013. But at the same time, there is a game which a lot of us did back and are still waiting for going on. All I see are posts about ships and more ships. Now, the reason you see all those posts about ships is because that's basically all we have to go on at the moment. I say it myself, I don't play for a while, but when the new Spirit comes out, I'm in there because I want to try the new shiny ship I paid for. I'm going to enjoy flying around it for a while, and then I'll get bored also after that. So ships are the thing which keeps a lot of people engaged and excited, myself included, and naturally a lot of people talk about that. Endless reworks. How many times has a UI been refactored or replaced? I don't know. It's been a while. The UI has been a bit of a work in progress over the years. There's a comment down here somewhere which mentions it. We'll look at it in a second. We still only have one system. Exploration jumps are nowhere in sight. Absolutely yes. But I am hopeful that we see this in CitizenCon. We're going to see the jump point and at least give us a solid date on when this is going to be happening. So I'm hopeful. I'm not going to hold my breath because we know better than to expect something, right? But I'm hopeful we do get some progress on when we will actually be able to jump to a new system and be able to expand the game from there. But the argument of having one system, I mean, yeah, there's one system, but the amount of detail and the amount of things to do in that one system is more than what you'll see. I don't want to jump ahead to Starfield and try making any comparisons, but there's a hell of a lot of stuff happening in that one system. The amount of explorable area, the distance, and it's still growing. So, yeah, not really an excuse. We were promised a lot more systems, but again, CitizenCon, we'll see what happens there. I'll still follow Star Citizen casually. If the game ever releases or the big updates, that's perfectly fine. I'll probably see it on YouTube, but I didn't sign up for a 10-year journey on this game. Absolutely correct. I don't think any of us signed up for a 10-year journey on this game. I think CIG will be breaking records when it comes to game development time. None of us expected 10 years. I expected maybe 3 or 4 years. It became 6 years, became 8 years, and here we are. But at the same time, those of us who do follow the progress understand what's been happening. Not that you have to make excuses for it. There's plenty that CIG could have done differently. In fact, if they can go back in time, I'm sure they'd be able to finish this game within 5 years if they had the know-how they have now to go back and do it correctly, then they'd know. So, yeah, definitely frustration. And the point I want to make on this also, and this is what I've been telling people on my Discord, there are people that backed with me in 2013, 2014, who hung around till about 2016 and then disappeared. They uninstalled the game and they go, I'll be back when there's something happening. That is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with just uninstalling, taking a break, and come back when there is something more. In fact, I can think of no better time. Now, I'm not advocating for you to uninstall Star Citizen, but if this is bothering you, if this long development cycle is keeping you up at night, if you cannot sleep, if you are crying every day because you spent $45 a couple of years back and the game isn't made and it's really bothering you, uninstall. Just come back at a later date. And if you're upset about the money part of it, look, I'm not advocating gray market, but there are ways to get your money back if you really want to have a clean slate and move out. My advice has always been to people who are really, really upset is clean slate. Just wipe it clean, uninstall, sell your account to someone if they want it, and move along with your life, because there's nothing worse for your mental health than sitting along and suffering endlessly. I'm not saying this guy is, but I've seen people just continuously be sad and upset and angry day after day and week after week. It's not healthy for you. Move along, and there's no better time because Starfield's just coming out now, and that's going to be awesome. So, yeah, no better time, in my opinion, if you want to take a break from Star Citizen and come back maybe after CitizenCon when there's something new to announce and see, do it. But let's take a look at some of the answers, some of the responses in here, which I thought were awesome. Here's one saying, I signed up for one 10-year journey. That's the next one has me worried. Absolutely. Look, I will say with pretty much certainty now that CIG will set the record for longest game development cycle. they've got it down. That's going to happen, right? Most expensive and longest game in development, they can do it. That's not a record we thought they'd take, but I think they can. And here we come up with some of the other comments about how life has changed over the last 10 years. And I feel this, man. I had no kids when this game was announced. My kids are going to grade 4 and grade 5 now. So, yeah, all these posts about saying how life has changed over the 10 years. Time waits for no man or woman. Here's one by Patton Is Movement saying, I just looked at the 320 patch. I don't think I'll be logging in when it goes live. There's nothing in it. That's perfectly fine. There's absolutely no reason to feel that you need to log into anything. I'll be logging in because a ship I like is going to be in it. But if there's nothing drawing you in, don't feel any obligation to. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to play this game. Internal Trade 9008 says, same here. No hate or childish emotions, just apathy. And I think I mentioned that right in the beginning there. Part of it too is I've changed and grown, and I'm not even sure I'd like the idea of what the PU is at the end of the day supposed to be. Interesting comment. This is actually a good topic. A lot of people get into this game and have an idea in their head of what they think the game should be. And if the game deviates from that, they lose their minds. I think we see this a lot in the PvP community, especially the very serious PvPers. They want some good hardcore PvP, and when they don't get it, they get very vocal about it. But there's also the large silent majority in this game who are the PvEers. PvE is by far the biggest part of this game, and the PvE community is quiet. They sit back, they don't make too much noise. And if you're into the, I'm assuming this is what the situation is here. I'm pretty sure this guy is into the PvE part, and he goes, it's not turning out the way I'm making an assumption, but I think that's what he's getting at. End of the day, the truth of the matter is, the game is going to be what Chris Roberts is envisioning it to be. It's not going to be what I want. It might not be what you want. It's going to be what he decides the game's going to be. And it just might not be right for a lot of people. That's just a fact. The finished game, when we get the polished PU, might not be the game you thought it might be. That is always a risk out there. In fact, here we have Warm Vanilla Sugar. Love the username. Same. I've grown apathetic and I have zero interest in the full loot open PvP design they went with. Perfect example here. All right. Now, full loot meaning you get shot and killed, you die. Someone can come take all your stuff. Whatever you're wearing, your weapons, everything in your backpack, everything. And the PvP design they have right now is, doesn't matter where you are, PvP is always the risk. I know a lot of people like this, but there's a big silent majority who's like, I don't know about this. I just want to go mining with my friends. I just want to go exploring without the risk of getting blown up. Is there a way I can do that? So I don't think that the early idea of a PvP slider is going to make it into this game. What I think they're going to do is essentially take an EVE Online model where there's some dangerous areas of space and some safe areas of space. You are not safe anywhere, but you will be more safe in some areas. Right now, because we have one system, you're not safe anywhere. You can be minding your business, mining a rock somewhere, someone will come along and bomb you just because they like the look of the explosions. That's it. So PvE and PvP, I feel, will find a balance eventually. I do feel CIG will eventually cater a lot more to the PvE crowd, but at the moment they need the PvP crowd to be happy. PvPers are active. PvPers are in the game right now, and it's them that CIG want to make sure that they are happy. So that's why you may be seeing a lot more PvP right now than you will in a couple of years when there's more systems to fly around and be involved in. There'll be systems which have no security, and there'll be systems with lots of security. Those ones will be more PvE friendly. So you can't really judge the game as it stands right now. But otherwise, this is a great topic here. Tons of great responses. I really like what I'm seeing here. Overall, look, the community is at this stage of complaint on Reddit and being upset. But those who've been around from the very beginning, or those who've been around for a couple of years, we've seen this many, many times. And again, as I said, the difference this time being it is 10 years. And for a lot of people, they kind of draw the line somewhere. And I think we'll see a lot of people saying, I'm drawing the line 10 years. But on the flip side of it, just watch. In a couple of months from now, when people have played a couple of hundred hours of Starfield, there'll be a fair amount migrating to Star Citizen because now they got the space bug. It's bitten them. I'm pretty sure we'll see a big uptick. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.